A dangerous blanket of ice is covering our roads, and that's why Morning Y'all is on the air right now. Because when it matters most, we put East Texas first.
And thousands of people across East Texas waking up without power. Crews already out working in these icy conditions, and we're tracking live updates from major electricity providers on restoration timelines and what you should expect today.
And just a little bit of leftover icy precipitation that will move on out. Then the other side of this winter storm moves in, and that is the bitterly cold air. And that could cause some pipes to burst tonight and near record lows by tomorrow morning.
And as you can see for yourself, CBS19 is on scene right now. I'm out on the road showing you exactly what drivers are dealing with, which roads are already iced over, and where travel is strongly discouraged.
If you don't have to be out, stay home.
And if you do, we'll help you do it as safely as possible. Morning Y'all starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19+.
Good morning, y'all. It is Sunday, January 25th, and we are waking up to ice, just blanketing the roads out there. This is a live look right now from our on-scene vehicle. And that's where our Joel Robinson is this morning. We'll be checking in with him periodically throughout the morning to get a check on those very icy roads.
We also have live crews out in Smith and Gregg and Cherokee counties getting a check on those conditions for you and how you can get help if you need it this morning. Good morning, y'all. Thanks so much for trusting us with your winter storm coverage on this Sunday morning. I'm Jesus Martinez.
We are so glad you're with us. I'm Dana Dixon, here with Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony, who has been working some long hours over the last couple of days, but keeping us safe, and we thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. The storm, it's really been an unusual storm in that, we had sleet, we had freezing rain. We had about an inch of freezing rain and sleet overnight. Most of it's sleet, so that was good news, except for the folks that lost power. Unfortunately, we did have some heavier freezing rain in parts of deep East Texas. Thunder sleet last night.
I heard it last night.
Yeah, that was unusual for a storm like this in the wintertime. But it looks like it's starting to wind down a little bit. We're starting to watch the precipitation move out. Unfortunately, it's going to get it's cold now. It's going to even get colder.
Bad news.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take a look at live CBS19 radar, and I'll show you where everything is setting up at the time. Currently, down in Lufkin, we have a little bit of light snow and sleet. Most of that is moving on out. This little band will probably brush by San Augustine and Sabine County. Meantime, the precipitation is shut off, but it's down to 15 degrees at Mineola, 17 at Tyler and Athens, 23 over in Marshall, 20 at Henderson and Jacksonville, and 26 right now at Nacogdoches. So the heaviest band, as we thought last night, would come through between about 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., and that's indeed what happened, and now it's moved off, and we picked up all of that sleet accumulation that we're seeing this morning on the roadways in that heavy band that moved through. There's still a chance to have a few snow showers today as the back end of this whole storm system moves out, but those snow showers won't accumulate anything. It'll just be pretty falling through the gray winter sky as temperatures continue to drop into the upper teens to around 20 degrees. There's that little snow shower, mainly closer to Interstate 30 later on this afternoon. But the ice storm warning continues until 6 p.m. You still have ice on the roadways. That's not going anywhere. The winter storm warning in terms of accumulating precipitation north of Interstate 20, that goes for about the next 4 hours. That may be canceled a little bit early. All right, right now, this is what it looks like from our Chase Bank building camera. And you can see there's lots of tire marks or tracks in the sleet, but folks are taking it slowly, hopefully. 22 at Jacksonville, 30 at Lufkin, still 31 at Hemphill. Just a cold, cold morning. Today, cloudy 18 degrees as we head through the 7 o'clock hour, noontime 22. Of course, it is 8 o'clock already. 24 at 4 p.m. and cloudy skies. And then overnight tonight, we expect to see overnight lows dropping to near record lows. Wind chill values down to about 0. And for the first time this year, I think it's a real threat to see some pipes busted in homes. So we need to take those precautions. I'll be back to talk about that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Brett, thanks so much. And if you're watching it this morning and you do have power, count yourself lucky this morning. Right now, nearly 100,000 Texans without power, and most of those outages are here in East Texas. We have this interactive map, and I just want to show you this storm. We've been talking about how big it is all over the country. Just in the southern region, you can see from Kentucky to Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. Texas ranking second for most power outages in the south. And here in Texas, look at all these colors. East Texas is the major zone for all these power outages. A lot of these counties, over 50% of them don't have power. For example, take Panola County, about 60% of the county without power this morning. Just to give you perspective, that's about almost 10,000 folks without power this morning. Taking a look over at Rusk County, over 50% of the county without power this morning. That's about over 12,000 people without power this morning. Down in Cherokee County, 13,000 people without power as well. Nacogdoches County, not any better. 12,000 people without power this morning. Further up in Gregg County, one of our most populated areas, about 3,000 people without power this morning. Still not as bad, but that is still a lot of people over for Gregg County. And over in Shelby County, 9,500 people without power this morning. We know all these crews have been out working, especially on these cold and icy conditions. Dana, it is quite a mess out there.
All right, it is, and crews have been working hard. We're seeing many of those outages in, like you mentioned, Longview, Kilgore, Henderson, Cherokee County. SWEPCO linemen actively working to restore power in these very icy conditions. And we want to bring in Mark Robinson from SWEPCO this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us, what are your crews doing right now with the sheer number of outages that we're dealing with across East Texas? We're in the thousands, and really, as far as Texas goes, looks like we're bearing the brunt of this.
I do. Yeah, right here.
Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas. We went up to 70,000 customers out. You did highlight several of the areas. In Texas, we have 20,000 customers out this morning. Carthage and Henderson got hit very heavily again. Second round, they sustained a lot of damage the first round as well as the second round. We're seeing a lot of trees down, a lot of ice on those trees, ice on the lines, and so that's what's bringing those lines down. And that's our big focus today, is get those trees off the line with some forestry work and then restore the power.
About how many crews do you think you have out working right now as we just get into the 8 o'clock hour?
Sure. So we have over 5,000 resources just in the SWEPCO area. Many of those, over 2,000, were already here doing system resiliency work, which we have seen the benefit of for many of our customers. And so those are already here, and we've already got them working out this morning. Met with them at 6 o'clock this morning and gave them their work orders, and they're out working as we speak.
We were worried about that freezing rain, and it looks like for the deep East Texas and then also Rusk, Cherokee County, Panola County, that really came to fruition as we were sleeping overnight. And many people probably woke up without power this morning. What's the first thing for those people who are watching us maybe on their phones or tablets right now that you need them to do?
Absolutely. So if you haven't downloaded the SWEPCO app, please do so. It's the best way to notify us that your power is out. And it is also the best way for us to communicate with you. Our focus is, and we've been working with Texas Department of Emergency Management as well as the emergency management agencies at Panola and Rusk and all of our counties to make sure that we're focusing obviously on our hospitals, dispatch centers, long-term care facilities, dialysis centers, water treatment plants. So whether you're a resident or you're a large customer, please make sure that we know that you're out of power, and we're sending the forces that way.
Now, you mentioned that a lot of this is trees that are coming down on those power lines, and everything is blanketed in white and a sheet of ice right now. So safety is a top priority. Best for people just to sort of stay indoors and stay away from any of those trees at this point, I'm imagining.
I have to say thank you. Thank you to our customers and our residents that gave us space yesterday. We did not have anybody sliding into work zones. We didn't have a whole lot of traffic. We're going to ask for the same thing today. Please give us some space. The roads are, including our trucks, we've got big heavy trucks. It's rough conditions out there. There's ice under that little bit of snow, and you will slide around. So please give us some additional space today to continue to restore power.
How does that complicate things for your crews? I can only imagine what it's like. I stepped outside just a few moments ago, and it's bone chilling out there. What level of gear do they have to have in order to do all of this? It's hard to work in these conditions.
Right, so we're used to working in 100+ degrees, not the near zero wind chill that y'all discussed earlier. We use insulated gloves, insulated tools. However, it is cold, right? Everything just moves slower. We have to drive slower. Hydraulics can not pressure up as quickly. It's just going to take us a little bit longer to make sure that we stay safe, but we are out there working. And then the access from a slip, trips, and fall scenario, just making sure that we have our ice cleats on, make sure that we have the appropriate gear, chains on our tires, those types of things. We're getting out there. We have the equipment. We just have to go a little slower to be safe.
Do you think all those preparations that you talked about that we've been doing ahead of time, ahead of this storm, really help? I know the numbers seem large this morning, but it could have been worse.
They do seem large, and specifically if you're out of power, that's the largest number is your outage. But absolutely, I have no doubt all the work that we did in 2025, 1,300 miles of tree clearing on our circuits, had to be extremely productive. 80-something, I think it's 82,000 poles that were inspected and 16,000 poles replaced. Absolutely helped us in this ice storm. I couldn't put a number on that if I tried, but that 70,000 customers across 3 states would have been much higher.
And I know it's hard to put a timetable on it because you do have so many crews working in so many counties this morning. Any idea how long it will take to restore all of this power to the thousands of East Texans who are without this morning?
Great question. We do estimated times of restoration. I was on the call this morning. They'll be asking for those earlier this morning. We will update those via email, via Facebook, social media, all of the different ways that then again, sign up for outage alerts. We will send those so that you know by community when those estimated times of restoration will be.
Any surprises in this ice storm that you've encountered so far with your crews working out there or just trying to manage the situation?
Really just trying to manage the situation. I got to say thank you to our partners, the cities, the counties. If we've asked for roads to be salted or sand or a piece of equipment, hey, we need to clear this road, they have been phenomenal to show up and help us. I know it is a big team effort. We've done this a lot, and so not a ton of surprises this time, but it's been great to have wonderful partners alongside of us.
Before we go, any words of caution, advice to homeowners out there who are waiting for their power to be restored, or you never know. You never know when the next tree is going to fall or the branch is going to come down. So any words of advice, caution that you can offer?
Tree safety was a great prompt. What we're seeing, we're out in the woods right now. We're getting the power on. We're using chains. If you're using a chainsaw, what we've noticed is that those tree branches, as you're cutting, they're breaking. They don't just bend. They don't cut all the way through. Get about halfway through and it pops back at you. So don't walk under trees with major icicles. Be careful when you're trimming. Check on your elderly neighbors, and remember that just because your power is on right now, Doesn't mean that it's going to stay on. Hopefully it does, but sometimes we have to pull down a circuit to be safe to repair, to put it back on. And so always have a contingency plan and check on your neighbors. There's some without power. If you have power, check on them, please.
And if you see a safety line down, what should you do?
Absolutely leave it alone. And you say, hey, I know that's cable or that's internet. I know that's not a power line. I'm just going to coil it up. Please stay away. Do not touch. You don't know if when it came down, if it wrapped around another power line, and it could be energized. We've seen energized power lines on the ground days after the initial storm. And so please stay away. Call us, let us know, and we will send somebody out to make that safe.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for all your SWEPCO crews are doing out there to get the power back on.
Thank you.
And we will continue checking all those outage maps for you throughout the morning and bring you updates on these conditions as they change.
Yeah, as we mentioned, thousands of those outages in the Longview area, and as temperatures dip below freezing, local rescue missions can be a lifeline for people with nowhere else to go.
Yeah, Robert De La Garza is live in Longview this morning, all bundled up and also ready to go. Also, there's one organization there, Robert, that's seeing a big surge in people coming in, thankfully, from this cold.
That's right. Good morning, Dana. Good morning, Jesus. I mean, you just kind of look at the temperatures right now. I know we talked about power outages. I just got off the phone with Gray County Sheriff's Office. You did say that there's several thousand here. They said South Longview, parts of South Longview are being the most impacted right now. We are in South Longview. This is just off of I-20 and 259, the intersection over there. On my other side, let's turn around over here. You can see this is 322, and we saw some Encore trucks or some of those utility trucks going down this street. We also saw a snowplow coming this way, and just to show you how cold it really is, I mean, you can see, like, maybe you can hear that crunch. I mean, this is just straight ice. I mean, this is a little bit different than what we saw yesterday, but really, when these temperatures get this cold, this is when people are looking for help the most. Rescue missions like Highway 80, Salvation Army are seeing a dramatic increase, and I expect them to see more, just looking for a warm shelter, a warm place to stay, as well as a warm meal. But staff tells me the number of people staying overnight has nearly doubled at this point in recent days, and that makes sense as many are still without power due to this winter storm. The mission is now housing between 120 and 150 people each night. They said they roughly go from 70 to 120, so that's nearly double, many of whom don't normally rely on the shelter service. Let's listen in.
We definitely are just here to make sure that God's children are taken care of, but mostly that they just have a warm and comfortable place to come and rest.
Staff say getting people in the doors before temperatures drop is the most critical thing, and as they encourage anyone without heat or shelter to come in before conditions worsen. And you can see, if we kind of take a look right now, you can see some of those utility trucks coming down the freeway right here. Like I said, Gray County Sheriff's Office said around, still encouraging people to stay off the roadways, but around 6 and 7 o'clock last night, once that sun kind of came down, that's when they started seeing a high velocity of accidents. He said about 5 in a span of about 10 minutes. So still encouraging people to stay off the roadways. That Highway 80 mission is going to be off of West Marshall Avenue, of course, Highway 80, just down from the loop there here in Longview. But they rely on donations, so they are asking for donations anywhere between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. throughout days like this, but those doors are open 24/7 for anyone looking to find shelter. They also offer warm meals. You don't even have to, it's just open door policy. If you need a warm meal, you can just walk in there, get your food, and get out. You can see people driving by right now. Those conditions still look pretty slick, so of course we're encouraging everyone to stay indoors, stay at home, unless you absolutely have to. But I'm gonna go ahead and toss it back to you guys.
Hey,
Dana,
Robert,
Jesus.
Can you still hear me? I saw like a huge wind come through. How cold is it out there for people, just to remind them why they don't want to be outside?
Yeah, I would say definitely that wind is probably the most brutal part of this. If the wind's not blowing, it's pretty manageable, especially if you're bundled up right now. So, but that wind chill is something that is really painful, actually. But I'd say that what makes it feel a lot more colder than it actually is. So those are people who are going to be outside. They're going to feel that, and they're going to need to be able to get indoor. They're going to want to get indoors. I know we're all curious what it looks like out here, but this wind chill and the cold is no joke.
All right, thank you so much, Robert. Get back in, warm up a little bit. All right, we'll check back in. Well, we are slowly and carefully making our way. We did into work this morning very slow, but trust me, the roads, they look like an ice rink out there, and they're just too dangerous to travel. Joel is live now with your traffic report.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I want to just apologize because I'm from Michigan, and I think I kind of brought the Michigan weather with me, so I apologize for that. But we are going southbound on Broadway this morning, and we're just seeing just a sheet of ice. Luckily, not too many folks out on the roads at this point, and hopefully that kind of stays this way as we head into the rest of today. The temperatures are well below freezing, but we are not really expecting too much in the way of precipitation for the rest of the day, which is good, but the cold temperatures are still going to linger here across the area for the next several days, so I do expect that these icy conditions will continue into the rest of today. If you can, just stay off the roads, and if you have to, remember the saying, ice and snow, take it slow. Definitely want to make sure you take it slow. This is just a sheet of ice out here, and it's very weird to see this kind of weather in with some palm trees out here as well. But definitely, again, just a little comment there. But again, just definitely make sure to be careful if you have to be out. Ice and snow, take it slow. We have crews out here that are on standby should anything happen. We have some power outages reported in some parts of the area. They are out and ready to go should any of that happen. I'm going to send it back to you guys now.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. Yeah, it took us a while to get to work. It took me about a normal 5-minute drive with no traffic. Took a good 15, almost 20 minutes taking it slow out there.
Yeah.
And there were quite a few people that weren't taking it slow this morning, so definitely take it easy out there. Well, as you just saw there, road conditions, one of the biggest concerns this morning. TxDOT crews have been out monitoring the highways, those bridges, those overpasses, especially, with these temperatures hovering well below freezing now.
Yeah, joining us live this morning is Jeff Williford with TxDOT to give us the very latest on road conditions, what drivers need to watch out for right now, and how those crews are preparing for what's ahead. Jeff, thanks so much for being with us again this morning.
Yeah, no problem. Good to be here.
Well, it looks a lot different out there this morning since folks went to bed last night. So for everyone just waking up and getting ready to head out, or maybe not head out after they see the roads and hear what you have to say, how bad are the conditions across East Texas?
They're about what we saw coming. We always prepare for these events. Seemed like it hit a little later than kind of we were planning beforehand, but when it hits, it hits. And so that's why our message is always stay home if you can. But if you have to get out, just be very, very careful. We saw the video there driving down Broadway. Those are not ideal conditions. We try to make roads passable, meaning for emergency vehicles and for people who do have to get out. And so again, if you can stay home, it's a good day to stay home. You saw Robert, I guess, out in the weather. It's very cold. It's a good day to stay in. That's the safest thing you can do. Our crews worked last night. There was that break in the precipitation yesterday where they were able to, some of the brine operations we did, that slush formed on a lot of bridges, a lot of roadways. They were able to plow that off, to blade that off. We don't actually have snow plows, but we have these blades that we can put on trucks to work as a plow. But they were able to remove a lot of that slush and then reapply some brine just to help slow down that freezing point. But again, as you saw, we saw a lot of precipitation, those frigid temps, and but our crews are out there now. They're still blading. They're working on bridges, especially on our Tier 1 roads, which mainly I-20, to make sure that it's passable. But again, if you can stay home, stay home.
And Jeff, you were mentioning those bridges and overpasses. We know there's quite a few of them here in East Texas, especially over the lakes and all these interchanges. Are there any specific areas or overpasses that have been more trouble than others this morning?
This morning, I haven't got word on that if anyone's been a bigger problem or not. Bridges and overpasses do freeze faster. Some of the ones that we usually keep an eye on are like on State Highway 155 over Lake Palestine, those two long bridges, those multiple long bridges over that lake. And so we'll continue to monitor those and look for those. Motorists can always look at drivetexas.org for updated road conditions. Right now, it looks like every road has snow or ice on it. Sometimes that gets updated immediately. Sometimes it takes a few minutes for them to do that. Yesterday in Rusk County, we did have some gray roads on drivetexas.org that was slush, and they were able to update that. But again, if you can stay in, stay in. You can see on the video there that it's not ideal conditions, and so if you do have to get out, go extremely slow as you possibly can, and let's keep each other safe out there.
Yeah, what are your TxDOT crews focusing on right now? Treating the roads, monitoring trouble spots, or anything that is new this morning that kind of popped up overnight?
Yeah, it's all about de-icing and using those blades. Pretty much the plows, I guess you will, to remove some of that ice from bridges on our Tier 1 roads. We have Tier 1 is I-20, US 271 in Smith and Gregg County. Those lead you from Tyler or Longview to I-20. State Highway 110 in Smith County and State Highway 31 in Gregg County are the district's Tier 1 roads. And so we will focus on those, I-20 obviously being a huge one. But then the other counties do have roadways that we would consider Tier 2 roads. And those are some of the larger roads that everyone's familiar with throughout the district. And so our guys are focusing on those bridges, making sure that they are passable, hitting those spots where they can, hitting blades with those and de-icing and more brine. But again, with these temperatures like this, it's best to stay in. We're watching, making sure there's no more precipitation. If there is, we'll continue to work. Our crews have been working 12-hour shifts, 24 hours a day. So they'll be ready to go and ready to go this morning.
Jeff, yesterday, that Drive Texas website, by the way, very useful tool. I was on it last night. Just so happened to turn on one of the cameras, and I saw a vehicle on I-20 back up on the interstate and go towards an exit. Is that something people should do if it's too icy going forward, or what should motorists do?
Listen, one is not go out. You don't want to be in situations like that. If you can make it to the next exit, that would be the best. Never want to go backwards. We talk about all the time at TxDOT, we don't like backing. If you come by our parking lot, you'll always see us backed in to our parking spots. That way when we leave, we don't have to back up, and it creates a dangerous situation. And so again, if you are able to try not to drive backwards on any roads. Try to make it safely. Pull over if you need to stay there. If you need to call EMS or law enforcement, you can do that. But yeah, we prefer, and I know law enforcement prefers, that you don't go backwards on any of our roadways.
Yeah, and if you look at those pictures from Drive Texas of I-20, I mean, it looks like a sheet of ice for miles as far as the eye I can see right now. So when will crews start reassessing conditions and what needs to happen weather-wise before those roads start improving? It looks like it's going to be a while.
Yeah, when the temperature gets above freezing, that's always ideal. So we'll continue to hit those spots in bridges, try to treat those, de-ice those with our blade trucks, and our crews are working hard to do that. Again, their families and friends live around here too, and so we want everyone to get home safely. And so the best way to do and the best way to be safe is to stay home. Again, that's our main messaging during these times.
I know we've seen a lot of folks go out. We don't know what the reason might be, but are you guys seeing any crashes out there? I know you guys have been treating those roads and retreating them over and over again. Have you guys got any reports of any crashes so far from yesterday, overnight, even this morning?
I don't have that information. We do monitor, and we'll get reports from EMS, law enforcement, but I don't have those numbers.
All right, well, we do appreciate all that TxDOT is doing to keep everybody safe. I know your crews are working long hours, so thank you for that, and tell everyone to stay safe.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, we want to get an update from our meteorologist, Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony, on these changing conditions. Now it seems like the big impact is going to be these dive in temperatures that we're experiencing.
The wind, we saw Robert there earlier. You heard the wind, and I believe it when it says it is brutal. I've been out there in the cold. It is not fun out there, Brett.
Now, current wind chill's 4 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't want to be outside. And the other part of this too, and Jeff talked about like all the ice on the roadways. Well, it's not going to get above freezing until Tuesday. So we'll have some sun tomorrow that will help melt some of it, but then it'll refreeze Tuesday morning, and then Tuesday afternoon we'll see temperatures above freezing, and so it should melt more of it. A good reason to have our CBS19 app is if you unfortunately do lose power, you can still watch CBS19. We're streaming on our Facebook page, of course, and through the YouTube and the CBS19 stream. And so a couple of folks have reported power outages in Carthage and in Troop. They're watching on Facebook and getting some much needed information. Lynn Emball's been communicating with me on Facebook. This is what the trees in her yard look like. You can see from the freezing rain yesterday, and then again another round last night. Their power came back on, and then it went back off again when that second round of freezing rain went through. And you can just see how this tree is absolutely just coated in ice, and that is a big issue across the area. Judy LeBlanc sending this photo in from the sleet and hideaway. She measured about an inch of sleet. Last night we picked up about a ½ inch to an inch and a half of sleet. There was some freezing rain mixing in there, and so the National Weather Service is trying to gather some ice accumulation totals, and this does include sleet and freezing rain. And we were forecasting ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch of ice. Seems to be in that ballpark in places such as Gilmer, Shelby County, southwestern Shelby County, Clarksville, up in Red River County, and Tyler here, a report of about 4/10 of an inch of sleet. That's what I pretty much measured in my driveway in South Tyler earlier today. So it looks like we're in that ballpark with those ice accumulation forecasts, and certainly it looks like this, and there's a bigger impact. Fortunately, a lot of this was not freezing rain overnight, coating power lines and trees, and even though we have power outages, we don't have the numbers that we could have. For instance, had it been all freezing rain, 1.25 inches of freezing rain would have just been devastating, and they're seeing worse conditions off to the east in Mississippi, what we feared here. So sleet helping us out. 19 degrees right now, feels like temperature 4. North-northwest winds still at 17 miles an hour. Satellite and radar picture, that was the last big gasp of this storm moving through last night. I know it looks like it's cleared out here, but what satellite's not seeing is the low clouds. It's just satellite senses temperatures, and so those cloud tops are very, very cold. So it's having a hard time discerning between what's cloud and what's surface, and so it just shows a big old flat gray area. Trust me, it's cloudy. And there's another little piece of energy that'll swing through here later today. Could get a couple of snow showers out of that. Not concerned about that causing any problems or recoating the roads or adding to the misery on the roadways. Meantime, the temperatures, that's the big story. The storm system itself has moved into the lower Mississippi River Valley, and the cold air is now being brought into East Texas. These are going to be air temperatures unfactored by the wind, but it is currently 17 degrees at Mineola, 30 at Lufkin, 31 at Hemp Hill. So we have about a 14-degree temperature spread across the area, but the cold temperatures will continue to spill in here. So here's Future Skycast starting now, going through the rest of the morning. Couple snow flurries from time to time, snow showers along and north of Interstate 20 later this afternoon, and then clearing skies. My best advice today is, there's a football game, there's an AFC Championship football game showing right here on CBS 19 at 2:30. I think that's all you should do. Just watch the football game, stay inside. Monday morning, we're looking at temperatures in the teens. That's why we have the extreme cold warning in place from tonight through Tuesday morning. The reason it goes to Tuesday morning, again, we're not going to get above freezing tomorrow. And then when we do see the temperatures refreeze Tuesday morning, there's going to be, or drop below freezing again Tuesday morning, there's going to be just a hard freeze everywhere of anything that might have melted thanks to the sun tomorrow afternoon. But wind chill values tomorrow morning below 0. Mineola, Gilmer, Mount Pleasant, Sulphur Springs, and not much better in Deep East Texas. Single-digit wind chills to start your Monday. And near record lows tomorrow. Tyler, we're forecasting a low of 12. That would tie the record low. It set back in 1904. Longview down to 12. Ties the record low set back in 1940. And in Lufkin, 15 is our forecast for the overnight low in Lufkin. That would set a new record low. The existing record, 17 in 1940. So overnight tonight, Longview dipping down to around 9 to 12 degrees, Gilmer down to 9, Nacogdoches down to 15, Lufkin into the upper teens. And so it's the 4 Ps and primarily the pipes tonight are what we have to worry about. This is the first time that we've really had to worry about busted pipes due to the ice or the water freezing inside those pipes, making those expand. And then when they thaw, that expansion, contraction can stress that metal and pop those pipes. All right, so here's your Bill Scott White, Texas Pine Joint Hospital 7-day forecast. 24 today, cloudy, down to 12 tonight, 31. Again, not getting above freezing until Tuesday afternoon when we get to 42, 45 Wednesday. Thursday and Friday will feel downright balmy, like we've gone maybe to Florida. 52 for the high on Thursday and 50 on Friday. We'll check CBS 19 live radar again coming up here in a few minutes.
I never thought
We'll take
50
it.
would be warm.
We'll take even 42. We'll take
Right?
it. All right. Thanks so much, Brett. Hey, we'll stay on top of everything you need to know this morning with the winter storm. Keep it right here on CBS 19. We're also streaming on CBS 19 Plus as well. We're going to take a short break. And we'll be right back and take a look at conditions across the state and another update from our CBS 19 weather experts and our team out in East Texas. We'll be right back.
East Texas, it's game day.
And our lineup has never been cuter.
This January, we're teaming up with the SPCA of East Texas for Paw Forward, a month of stories that put rescue pets in the spotlight.
From the underdogs to the rising stars.
We're kicking off a mission to help every dog and cat get their shot at a forever home. And your support fuels the SPCA's life-saving work.
Every dollar helps animals right here in East Texas.
Join us January 30th for Paw Forward Day of Giving.
And help us score a win for animals in our community.
Sponsored by Pelche Subaru.
This is the
Rotate.
Definitely some massive power just going on out here. The whole neighborhood is completely dark.
Some widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Look at that damage seen across Smith County.
Long enough to split a home in half with a tree.
We have 54 lightning strikes now in the last 15 minutes.
It's been a whirlwind kind of weather day.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with CBS 19 and CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Yard on CBS 19 Plus.
Welcome back. It is 8:36 and just bitter cold out there this morning. We are taking a live look at the CBS 19 on-scene car where our Joel Robinson is keeping an eye out on those roads for us. Just look at them. They are covered in ice. So dangerous. We'll check in with him in just a bit. As you can see, those roads remain coated this morning, and it's going to stay that way for a while, according to Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony, when he keeps telling us about just how cold we're going to stay over the next few days.
And that was my drive to work, not too far from where I live. Plus, we'll also have team coverage from our field crews all over East Texas. Robert is in Longview tracking those outages, and the Highway 80 rescue mission as well. Nayeli is in Lindale. We'll hear from her in a little bit with how neighbors are helping each other out. And our Jamie Hazard is in Jacksonville reporting on warming shelters and local ministries looking to help. Good morning, y'all. Thanks so much for staying with us on this Sunday morning on CBS 19 and CBS 19 Plus. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Dana Dixon. We are so glad you are with us this morning, hearing about what all East Texans are doing right now. It takes a village to get through something
really
like
does,
this,
yeah.
a winter storm. So thank you to all those that workers are due out there to keep people warm, keep the roads safe. We just couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, for sure. We really appreciate them. The linemen, TxDOT, first responders, everyone really, we really do appreciate it. And we also appreciate Brett for helping us prepare on this end with what we could expect. And pretty much happened.
A tough morning to
Yeah.
be without power for
Right.
sure. And I know there are a lot of folks out there and temperatures are dropping, and it's, to keep your house warm
Yeah.
if you don't have a generator, it's really tough. And I think that's why those warming shelters are so important. But
Yeah, you got to have them in times and situations like this. But it's the getting there that's going to be tough. We showed
Yeah.
all those roads.
Oh
so.
my goodness, yeah. Driving around, you feel your car's just kind of sliding a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Joel said, what is it? Slow, go slow, or take it when there's snow.
Go slow. Something
Like that. Yeah. I mean, guys from up north, they all know about that.
They
have a little jingle for everything.
Hear all those sayings. All right, let's talk about the forecast here. This morning, we see temperatures in the teens and lower 20s, but the precipitation is gone. Now, I can't rule out there could be just a little bit of freezing drizzle here or there, but it would not accumulate or cause more problems. And I think from here going forward, it's going to be the cold air that we have to deal with, because anything that's frozen stays frozen. We're not going to see sunshine today. It's going to be gray, and then it will get colder progressively as the day goes on. And then tonight, the coldest night of the year tonight, of the winter season, and again tomorrow night, very close to that. So the storm system's moving away. It's a rough morning over in the Arklamas, up into parts of Mississippi. I mean, they've had flat out freezing rain in the order of about an inch and a quarter. We've had our combination of freezing rain and sleet and future skycast. This is the high resolution data. You can see just a little bit of drizzle, a couple snowflakes this afternoon, a couple snow showers to the north this evening. But the bigger story is going to be those temperatures hovering right there in the teens and low 20s. So an extreme cold warning going into effect tonight, lasting through Tuesday at noon. And that is because we're going to see sub-freezing temperatures lasting through Tuesday until noon. And right now outside, it feels like 4 in Tyler, 7 in Longview, feels like 20 at Center, 20 at San Augustine, 22 at Groveton, and 23 at Crockett. Look at some of these feels like temperatures back in the DFW. Waxahachie 4 below, Dallas 4 below, Denton 4 below. Super cold. Today, cloudy skies, 10 a.m. We're just kind of leveled off here. We might sneak up to 24 degrees with cloudy skies at 3, but we're still slate gray skies at 7 o'clock, 21 degrees. Coming up, we'll talk about how much ice we saw accumulated. We'll take a look at the forecast. There is a bit of a thaw on the way later this week. When it arrives, when we finally stay above freezing, perhaps morning and afternoon, we get back closer to average temperatures. The temperatures here are just 20 degrees below average for this time of the year, but we'll talk about when things sort of return more to East Texas-like standards coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Brett, thanks so much. Hey, check out these images from Rusk County Electric Cooperative. Look at all that heavy ice just weighing down on those trees and those power lines. We talked about how dangerous that could be, causing those branches to snap and those lines to come down in multiple areas. You can see utility crews working from bucket trucks trying to safely clear those limbs and restore power, and that has been going on for a good chunk of this weekend. Right now, nearly 100,000 Texans without power this morning, and most of those outages here in East Texas. We've heard from some of you this morning saying you guys are out of power in Troop, some in Carthage. The city of ARP also put out a message that a good chunk of the town is without power this morning. Encore saying there's a restoration ETA by about noon for the city of ARP. I want to show you this map right now. This is a big storm we've been talking about for a good chunk of the week now, stretching all the way from the northeast down here to Texas, and Texas seeing a good chunk of those power outages, especially here in East Texas. Just to give you some perspective, our map is glitching out for a little bit here, but you can see these reds and oranges down in Rusk, Cherokee, Panola County, Nacogdoches counties as well. Just a whole bunch of power outages. At one point, Panola County, Cherokee County, and Shelby County. A good chunk of those counties without power, about 50% or more of folks in those counties without power this morning. And as Brett mentioned, those temperatures are only going to get colder as we head into today, as we head into tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot harder for folks to stay warm out there. That's why these warming shelters are open as well. But you can see a lot of red and oranges on this map as well. For folks up to the north as well, up in Titus and Kemp County and Morris County as well along I-30. Also seeing some power outages there this morning as well. But Dana, it is a mess out there this morning. And a lot of people out there without power, like I mentioned. This storm stretching, like I mentioned, from the northeast down to Texas. Texas actually ranked number 2. You can see right here, Tennessee, over 260 folks without power in Tennessee. Texas ranking at about 139,000, most of them again here in East Texas. We'll check up on more of this, these power outages here in a little bit, but Dana, it is cold out there for a lot of these folks without power.
Yeah, Cherokee County now 13,000 people without power. Nacogdoches County has 12,000. Rusk 12,000. It's a big job, and Encore crews are working in this bitter cold to get the lights turned on as quickly as they can for the thousands of East Texans we just mentioned who are in the dark right now. We've got Tom Trimble with Encore joining us right now. Tom, let's start with just how many crews that you have out there working.
We have all of our Encore crews. It's an all hands on deck. Everybody that's in East Texas is working. We have hundreds of contract crews out here, and that includes VM crews, overhead crews, underground crews. Everybody that we can possibly get out here, we've got out here. We've got additional crews coming in from the folks that weren't as the areas that weren't as hard hit, like Dallas and Waco. So we're bringing in more people today to try to restore as much power as we can to our customers as quickly and safely as we can.
Yeah, East Texas definitely taking the brunt of the ice part of this storm. How many people are you trying to restore power to right now at the moment, if you could roughly estimate?
So right now in Lufkin, we've got about 6,000 customers out. In Nacogdoches, we've got about 4,700 customers out. In Jacksonville, we've got about 7,000 customers out. And then in Tyler, we've got about 800 customers out. In Palestine, about 800 as well. So Jacksonville really did take the brunt of this storm because they got hit really hard the day before, and then they got hit hard again last night. Lufkin and Nacogdoches really got a lot of ice last night. And the one thing about ice that really hurts is that as long as it stays below freezing and it stays on those trees, as we restore power, we might have a tree come down 30 minutes after we get the power back on, and it drops on that same line that we just picked up and put back up in the air. So it could take a little while, and you might see your power go out a few times, but it's just because the trees are continuing to fall on us every hour, every minute. We're seeing more and more trees falling. So and just be careful out there because they are coming down. They're coming down hard.
I think that's important perspective to talk about this morning. East Texas is so beautiful with all the pine trees that we have out there, but for you guys, it presents a big challenge in times like this. Would you say that's your biggest challenge with this winter storm?
The biggest, one of the two biggest challenges, I would say, because we do have crews they just get the power back on and they look down the line and here comes a tree falling down. The weight on those pine trees are softwood, and so they when they weigh down, they either bend or they're going to break, and that also presents another challenge for us. As the thaw occurs on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to have another round of outages because the ice weighs down those branches and they come down and they hit our lines and they go through our lines and they're sitting down close to the ground. When that thaws out, they're going to come back up and they're going to hit those same lines and cause another outage. So what we're trying to do is get customers to understand there's going to be a round of, when the ice hits, we have a round of outages. When it thaws, we're going to have an additional round of outages as well.
You know, we always think about trees being branches, those smaller branches not being such a big issue, but whenever they freeze, they almost become like glass, right?
Oh, they do. They do. And they become heavy. The ice accumulation can add 30 times the weight of that branch. And we're seeing a lot of these branches that are way tall up in the pine trees. We've got pine trees that are upwards of 150 foot tall. And those branches are breaking down and going through our power lines, and we're having to pick them up. So it creates a huge hazard for us. It also makes actual restoration processes very slow because the roads are icy. So we're trying to get to all of these roads. We're trying to get to all of these locations, and there's a lot of different locations. And it's not only us, it's the other utility companies as well. It just is slow going when the roads are so icy.
Hate to see East Texans that are cold out there, but what is the first thing that you'd like them to know and what they should do if they've lost power?
before the storm hit, I hope everybody did their preparation to make sure they had blankets that they could get to, a place that they could go if they needed to get somewhere else. I would say if you're a one of our customers that needs care, then make sure if your power goes out and it's out for a while, call 911. They can come get you and take you to somewhere, either a warming center or hospital where you can get warm, get care. Don't wait to do that. We're doing everything we can to get the power back on. We're bringing in all the help that we could possibly get, and we're going to work all day long today and through the night until everybody's power is restored.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Thanks for taking a moment to get us updated on the situation with Encore and what your crews are doing right now.
Thank you so much.
All right. And he did mention those staying warm.
Yes.
Don't forget that you can text the word warm to 903-600-2600 and get those warming centers that are open across East Texas to find out where those are.
There's a running list because I know a lot of people are without power, especially in our rural areas. That's where a lot of these power outages are happening with a lot of those pine trees and branches out there. So please take advantage of that list we have on our website as well. And with these roads and slippery power outages leaving many without heat, local organizations are stepping in to help.
Yeah, our Jamie Hazard is live in Jacksonville right now with a closer look at how neighbors are trying to stay safe this morning. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning, Dana. Yes, we are standing outside of UT Health here in Jacksonville, and the effects of the winter storm are being felt all throughout East Texas, but especially here. We have many power outages in the area, and Bill Bateman, who is the manager and owner, president of Highway 69 here in Jacksonville, it's a mission, and they are providing warm meals for residents who have lost power or who don't have somewhere to stay, especially as those temperatures start to drop. It's really important that if you know anybody that needs a place to go, that they have generators and they're providing those warm meals for people. I mean, we have fallen branches to the side of me here and those roads are icy. So we heard from Bill Bateman himself.
So we're getting a lot of people just drop by. We have meals 3 times a day so they can come in and get a hot meal. If they need a place to stay, we have shelter here that they can shelter overnight. The heaters are running, the generators are running, so you won't be without electric, we won't be without heat, and so we welcome you.
The mission is also taking any donations that you have. So they are in special need of women's clothing. They say that they get a lot of men's coats and gloves, but women's clothing and hygiene products are things that they are needing. And if you are just able to volunteer to give the other volunteers a break, prayers and of course financial help is always in need. We'll bring it back to you in the studio.
All right. Thanks so much, Jamie, for updating us on that. It sounds like they're doing a lot of good work there to keep the people in the Jacksonville, Cherokee County area warm. And we do know there are thousands of people without power there.
That's the thing about East Texans. East Texans will help each other in time of need. And so that's
for sure
what's special this morning. Also,
well, this morning, Hunger for Love, that's another local nonprofit in our area, stepping up to help those in need by serving dozens of people experiencing homelessness with hot food. They've got cold weather gear to give them. And most importantly, just a reminder that they're not forgotten.
Now, we spoke with board member Dean Parks on their mission and how they're supporting those in need during this dangerously cold weather.
Right now, it's going through some harsh weather. They're feeling it. They're intense. They're in the woods. They're unfortunate, and a lot of times they're unforgotten. And that's what we try to do. We try to give them a little hope, bring the love of Jesus to them. We had donuts and coffee and sack lunches this morning. They was brought to us from Crossband Cowboy Church. Put on KVNE, listened to some worship music. It was just, I put a lot of smiles on their faces.
Warm place and a warm heart. You can find ways to donate to support Hunger for Love's mission on our website, CBS19.tv. All right, let's go ahead and check on with Joel Robinson, who's out on our CBS19 on-scene unit this morning, traveling all over Tyler to get a check on those conditions. Joel, where are you now?
All right, good morning, everybody. Yeah, here's another look at what we can see outside right now. We do have plenty of crews that are out right now. So if you do happen to lose power, no worries. There are going to be plenty of crews out there working on everything, but still just a sheet of ice outside here as we are on Loop 323 here in Tyler, and we have a little bit of a glaze of ice on top of the power lines and also on some of the trees as well. Just highly advise you to just stay off the roads. Luckily, there aren't too many people on the roads right now as far as the loop here in Tyler, but definitely want to make sure you just remember the saying, ice and snow, take it slow, take things very slow, increase the following distance between the person in front of you and you. And if you happen to know when you're stopping, as far as like maybe a traffic light or something like that, give yourself a little bit of extra time to brake. Of course, bridges and overpasses are also going to be a big hazard as well. They've actually had a chance to freeze for a little bit longer than the actual road, so those are going to definitely be in rough shape. But the overall moral of the story is that we still do have some very cold temperatures that are going to linger into parts of next week, so we'll have a chance to kind of melt and refreeze all of this ice into parts of next week, despite us being pretty much over with the actual winter storm. So I do expect that these icy conditions will linger into parts of next week. So certainly something to kind of keep an eye on. And of course, again, today, make sure to stay off the roads. But if you do have to be on the roads, definitely make sure to take it slow. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you, Joel. And just for some perspective, this morning on my way into work, a lot of places were just closed. So there's really nowhere you need to go because most places are closed this morning.
And even in Joel's audio there, you can see, or even see as well, how shaky it was from all that ice. Super dangerous to be out and traveling. A lot of reasons why a lot of businesses and churches closed as well today.
Yeah. Well, as we continue to track that dangerous cold weather that we've been showing you all morning across East Texas, Smith County remains under a disaster declaration this morning because of those icy roads and the power outages that we're still seeing as a major concern. And they told us this is going to be a concern for a few days because it isn't just that the ice is there, it's whenever it starts to thaw out, and then you've got the other concern.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess out there. But over in Lindale, we're seeing how this weather is bringing folks together. Nayeli Carrillo is live out there to tell us more about a group that's stepping up. Like we mentioned, East Texas helping East Texans, and they're helping essential workers get to work. Nayeli.
Dana, Jesus, good morning. When difficult conditions make it hard to get to work, some of the people we rely on most, like nurses, first responders, and medical staff, they still need to show up. Here in Lindale, a group of Jeep owners are making sure they can. This is how they're helping those who help us. Along Interstate 20 in Lindale, traffic is sparse, speeds are slow, and slick spots are hard to miss.
I think that's probably the best thing. If you don't need to go, just stay home.
But rather than staying home, owners of Lindale Custom Jeeps and volunteers are picking up their keys and offering free rides to those needing to head to work.
Most all of them are nurses.
Helping the first responders.
We would all be in trouble without them. And so they help us. Well, it's our turn.
While Jeep owners are known for their ducks, Galen Graddick says the Jeep community is much more.
It's about helping people, mostly.
During the 2021 winter storm, the group quietly pulled stranded drivers, including police officers, out of ditches. This time, they decided to do more, focusing on the people who can't stay home.
We might as well just help everybody that we can.
Some of the people they're helping they know. Most of them, they don't.
Yeah, I hope nobody needs us, but I would suspect there's probably going to be at least in the 25, 30 range. Maybe 40.
And while this effort is based in Lindale, they say they're part of a bigger family. Jeep groups across East Texas also stepping up to help their communities.
So we're ready to go whenever we get a call.
And if anybody needs a ride to work, the phone number to call is 903-521-0004. And they are still probably taking people out. Yesterday they told me they had to take a nurse at 4 a.m. and they were glad to do it because they said they would rather take somebody to work than them end up in a ditch and probably hurt themselves. But as you can see, the conditions here, there's not a lot of traffic. The cars that we have seen have been going really slow. And something to note here is that, sorry, I almost fell. Something to note is that you cannot see the lines on the road. And like Dana, you were mentioning,
a lot of the businesses are closed. We're right in front of a McDonald's. It's closed, and McDonald's rarely even closes.
Right.
Reporting in Lindale, I'm Nayeli Carrillo.
Nayeli, some good perspective there. You just mentioned that you almost took a little tumble. Just how slick are these icy conditions out there? I mean, it's kind of dangerous even to take a step outside your house if you don't have the right kind of shoes on.
So I don't think I have the right kind of shoes on either, but something that I did want to tell y'all, Jay, my photographer, actually fell last night while we were in the parking lot just getting our gear out of our car. And it just goes to show anybody can fall, even if you're prepared, even if you don't think you're going to fall.
Yeah, no, it's very, very slick out there, so got to be careful. Don't want all the people to have to go to the hospital.
Right.
But those workers are getting there
Because
we got the Jeep Club.
Nayeli, I can see it in your hair. It's windy out there. How brutally cold is it out there, especially with that wind?
Jesus, I think I have like 3 hand warmers like in my pockets, and once we're done with the live hit, we're gonna go back inside. So anybody that doesn't need to be outside, they really shouldn't. We have seen some people taking their dogs out, so that's understandable. We're right next to a dog park, but there's nobody there right now.
Yeah.
But yes, it is very windy, especially like facing where I'm facing,
Yeah, well, be careful. Go in, get the thawed out a little bit there,
right, stay
warm. All right, new this morning, UT Health East Texas physicians are announcing clinic closures due to this winter weather.
Yeah, all UT Health East Texas physician clinics and urgent care locations will be closed today to ensure the safety of patients and those staff members as well. Patients who need care during that time are encouraged to use on-demand video visits available from 8 a.m. all the way until 6 p.m. today through UT Health East Texas's website. In addition, several clinics will be closed tomorrow, including the Hope Cancer Center in Athens, the Heart and Vascular Institute Cardiology Clinic in Athens, Pain Management in Gun Barrel City, and the Heart and Vascular Institute Cardiology Clinic in Pittsburgh. Clinic staff will contact patients to reschedule those appointments.
Of course, if you have any urgent medical needs, you can get those, call 911 or go to the emergency room. All right, we're still tracking this winter storm in East Texas. Right now, the shift is going to these bitter cold temperatures that we're dealing with.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there are some folks without power. In fact, I just got an email from Amy Garcia. She's on the Panola-Shelby County line near Timpson. This is a photo, I believe, from yesterday morning. She also sent a photo from this morning, which I'll try to get to you. But she's saying that they were able to catch our 8:30 news via the generator that have been utilizing for heat and news updates. So thankfully they have some way to get some information, and they also have a propane stove. So thank goodness that they have a backup there. Unfortunately, the power is still out in parts of Shelby and Panola County and in Timpson. But Amy, thank you so much for sharing that photo with us. I'll try to get the other photo on, but it just gives you a good idea of how yesterday's freezing rain coated those trees. Tom Trimble talked about the weight of the trees from the ice being pushed down and power outages coming out. And then when that melts, those trees start to go back to their normal state. And when they do, they hit power lines again, and then more power outages are possible. You can also see the amount of sleet on the ground and the freezing rain. And now the big story becomes the temperatures, not tonight's lows. These are feels like temperatures right now. 4 in Tyler, 7 below at Tulsa, feels like 9 below at Kansas City. Look at Bismarck, North Dakota. It feels like 40 below zero there. I can't even imagine just how dangerously cold that is. Satellite and radar picture, we have one last little push of some drizzle moving out. Not to say that we couldn't have a little bit of freezing drizzle or a snow flurry for the rest of the day, because you still have this part of the storm. So we had the main upper low move through, and then there's just this little secondary wave kind of trailing behind it. That'll ride along Interstate 20 and Interstate 30 and up to the north, and maybe just brush by East Texas later today. It's not going to be a big deal. It will, however, just kind of aggravate the grayness and the coldness of the day. And with the temperatures in the low to mid 20s, it's just not going to feel great. All right, we continue to get numbers for folks contributing to the National Weather Service. This Gilmer number is more like freezing rain and sleet combined. That Shelby County number is a similar number. Red River County, Clarksville, similar number. This Tyler number here is more so just the measurement of sleet. And the same holds true for Marshall. About 1.5 inches of sleet. There is some freezing rain combined in there, but that overall impact is this on the roadways. They are covered. Jeff Williford talked about we don't have a plow here, though I remember interviewing him a couple months ago. We talked about East Texas not having a plow, but they do have those blades that they put on the truck and they can push some of that ice off. We're down to 18 degrees now. Temperature just fell another 3 degrees from when we started broadcasting this coverage here. And that's probably going to continue as the day goes on, or maybe level off in the lower 20s. It's just brutally cold. 18 at Mount Pleasant, also still 28 at Lufkin, 31 at Hemphill. Here's future Skycast. Again, watch the little bit out here. You'll see just a couple of little snowflakes from time to time, snow showers this afternoon. But it's really more about the cold air, and as the sky clears tonight, the temperatures are dropping in Tyler down to about 12 to 14 degrees, Longview about 12 to 14 degrees, and the extreme cold warning is in place to cover that dangerous cold, and the fact that we could see wind chill values going below 0 in several locations. Emory, 4 below, Mount Pleasant, 2 below, 1 in Jefferson, 5 in Nacogdoches, and the near record lows tonight at Tyler and Longview, and possibly at Lufkin, where we could drop to about 20 degrees. So overnight lows tonight, single digits, for instance, at Carthage and Henderson. Otherwise, remember the 4 Ps, and especially the pipes tonight. If we've ever had a night where we've had the threat of frozen pipes, it will be tonight, and again tomorrow night. Baylor Scott and White, Texas Spine Joint Hospital 7-day forecast. If you're looking for a warm-up, and it's unbelievable that I'm going to say this, 52 is our warm-up, and that's still 8 degrees below average for this time of the year, and the morning lows are still, the morning lows do not get back to average till Friday when it's 37.
Wow.
My goodness.
It's a cold week.
That's cold. I think 50 is frigid. So
I know. First time I remember one time we were anchoring together early on, and I said something about being 50, and he was like, "Oh, it's time to make chili," and I was like, "50?" But yes, 50 is time to make chili.
It is.
It's also
Lots
time
of
to make
people making
hot
chili.
chocolate. Brett made us some hot chocolate in the newsroom. So
I have the Cocomotion. It's
going up there. Has a name
They're
and
feeling
everything.
the Cocomotion this
We
morning.
are. I had warm coffee, Dana.
That's nice.
You know, I
did
like my
too.
cold coffee.
You can't have cold coffee right
No.
now. All right, let's check out some scenes from across Texas right now. That ice and snow have many people staying inside, but some unexpected visitors made the most of the winter weather. Here's Tiffany Liu with a closer look.
Good morning from downtown Denton. You want to know who's having fun today? The squirrels. They're just having so much fun. Oh, hi. What's up, buddy? I wish I felt this happy in the cold. You're living your best life. I need an insulated coat like this. He's doing zoomies across Denton Square. What you digging for? Ah! Oh my God, look at him go, look at him go. And then this guy here, just chilling, digging, maybe looking for some acorns. They look like they're having so much fun. Meanwhile, I'm freezing. Time to get back in the car. So cold. Right now it is 22 degrees in Denton, but it feels like 4 degrees. So as I do my next live shot, I'm gonna channel my inner squirrel.
Sometimes you have to have a little bit of fun, right?
You do. I don't know how those squirrels are having fun.
Oh, my
It's
dogs,
cold.
not at all. They will not go outside.
They won't.
I mean, we tried, I don't know how many times. One of them is like an Aussie has lots of hair, and this is her kind of weather, and she's like, absolutely not. So take it from Millie and Bailey, don't go outside.
Do they turn and look at you like, "Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Who would go out there?
This is not for them.
It's not for us either. All right, well, winter weather isn't just making the roads icy or having fun with squirrels. It's creating wild adventures. Check this out. 2 guys had to jump into a freezing lake to rescue a cow stuck in a
goodness.
deer feeder. You see it right there. This is over in Stephenville, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The men went chest deep in the icy water, trying to free the 8-weight steer. What started as a funny sight quickly got serious as the feeder began filling up with water. So they finally sawed the feeder off, and thankfully the cow survived. When the rescuer said it was heck of an adventure. I'm so glad that cow's okay. Lots of
Gosh,
things
and
that
the
could have gone
people
wrong.
too.
And the people,
that was so kind of them. They had to, they're probably animal lovers and
Right.
didn't want to see him suffer. Thank you for that. My goodness.
I saw this video online yesterday. It was crazy to see, and inspiring, honestly, to see the extent of what people will go to save other people and animals as well.
Yeah,
So,
the adrenaline when it kicks in, you forget you're cold, but
Yeah.
glad everybody's okay. Check this out. Well, that's one way to do it, I guess. Yeah, after battling a house fire in freezing temperatures, these firefighters in Dallas took a quick, well-deserved break. And yes, they heated their pizza using a propane tank. A small glimpse into the long, cold hours behind the call. And a reminder that even heroes need a warm bite. Oh my goodness.
I bet that tasted really good after all the work they were doing, right? No matter if it was heated by propane or a natural oven or whatever.
Well, I was going to say, cold pizza in itself is really good, but after being in the cold, a nice warm meal is very much needed, especially for the first responders out there that are battling the cold, especially firefighters with that water. Makes things
my goodness.
Yeah,
so cool. I can't imagine that. Have you guys, I've fallen into a pond through ice.
Really?
Yeah, when it was like 17 degrees. My brother basically saved my life. He pulled me out of the ice. But I had to ride my bike home. I was completely iced over frozen. I was the coldest I've ever been in my life.
Well, that's good advice. Don't drive over ice.
No, don't.
Lake.
It has to be 3 feet deep to be on ice. We were skating on probably foot ice.
Oh my
maybe.
gosh.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
Scary.
Yeah, don't get on any ice around here the next couple of days.
Especially with those ponds out there.
Yeah, do not do it.
Thank you, Brett. All right, we'll stay on top of everything you need to know with this winter storm. Keep it here on CBS 19. And of course, we're also streaming on CBS 19 Plus for those neighbors who don't have power. So let them know that this information is out there for them. We're going to take a quick, short break. We'll be right back in a couple minutes.
East Texas, it's game day.
And our lineup has never been cuter.
This January, we're teaming up with the SPCA of East Texas for Paw Forward, a month of stories that put rescue pets in the spotlight.
From the underdogs to the rising stars.
We're kicking off a mission to help every dog and cat get their shot at a forever home. And your support fuels the SPCA's life-saving work.
Every dollar helps animals right here in East Texas.
Join us January 30th for Paw Forward Day of Giving.
And help us score a win for animals in our community.
Sponsored by Pelche Subaru.
This is the worst storm that they've seen come through.
Any one of these could begin to rotate.
Definitely some massive power just going on out here. The whole neighborhood is completely dark.
Some widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Look at that damage seen across Smith County.
Long enough to split a home in half with a tree.
We have 54 lightning strikes now in the last 15 minutes.
It's been a whirlwind kind of weather day.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with CBS 19 and CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Yard on CBS 19 Plus.
9:10 this morning. Good morning, y'all. Thanks for staying with us here on CBS 19 and CBS 19 Plus. I'm Jesus Martinez as we take a live look over our CBS 19 on-scene unit, tracking those conditions out there as you wake up this morning.
Yes, we are so glad that you're with us. You're inside and watching it from the comfort of your home. I'm Dana Dixon. Those roads are extremely dangerous out there, as you can see, basically like a skating rink. We also have team coverage from across East Texas to help keep you safe. We've got Jacksonville, Longview, Lindale. We're covering it for you this morning.
All over East Texas this morning. Chief Meteorologist Brian Finney joining us at the desk as well. Brett, you mentioned this morning sort of the first round gone with the winter weather, but now we have a second round, which is the cold temperatures we're going to worry about now.
Very cold, coldest we've seen so far this winter, and of course in 2026. I don't know that we're going to get this cold again.
Right.
The rest of the winter, yeah. Wind chill values right now are at 4. Overnight lows tonight are forecast to drop to 10 to about 15 degrees above. So yeah, this is the first time I think that we have to really be concerned about pipes busting. We've been in the upper 20s to 30 degrees, but when it gets into the lower teens here in East Texas, that's when we really have to start to think about that. Let's take a look at CBS 19 live radar here as we get into our weather impact alert update here. And remember, the weather impact alert goes until Tuesday morning thanks to the cold temperatures now taking over. We're at 16 at Mineola, 15 at Sulphur Springs. Look at Dallas down to 12 degrees. Palestine at 20, 26 at Center. I've seen some discussions about driving conditions going towards Shreveport or Texarkana. I'd probably put that off until, well, maybe later this afternoon, but maybe tomorrow when the sun comes out and melts a little bit of that ice. The streets are probably covered in sleet everywhere you go after that last big round of 3 to 4 hours of constant. I mean, it was pouring sleet last night. We had thunder sleet at one time. So that means it was actually a thunderstorm, but instead of rain coming down, it was sleet and freezing rain, and now that has moved away up into the ArcLimis. This is a high-resolution, short-term little piece of data I want to show you. You can see the little pinks and whites showing up. So snow flurries possible. A couple snow flurries here later this afternoon up around Interstate 30, but should not be a big deal. What will take over and be our main emphasis of the forecast going forward here for the next couple of days will be this extreme cold warning in effect tonight through Tuesday at noon. You might wonder why all the way to Tuesday at noon. Well, we're not going to see a above freezing temperature until Tuesday around noon when the temperature finally sneaks back into the upper 30s. So right now it feels like 7 at Mount Pleasant. It feels like 1 out at Terrell. It feels like 22 at Crockett, 19 at San Augustine, and 8 at Marshall, Longview, Henderson, and Gilmer. So you got a run of 8s. They're crazy 8s. Here's the forecast today. 10 a.m. cloudy, 19 degrees. 3 p.m. cloudy, 24. 7 p.m. temperature 21 degrees, cloudy skies. Best advice today. AFC Championship kicks off at 2:30 here on CBS 19. I know it's probably not the teams that some of us wanted in, but that's okay. We can root for the Broncos anyway. We'll check out your 7-day forecast coming up.
We'll take a break. All right, thanks so much. Well, right now, over 100,000 Texans are without power this morning, and most of those power outages are right here in East Texas. This is this interactive map we've been tracking all morning long. We checked in about an hour ago last minute, and I just want to reference some numbers. I've been looking at this and tracking this all morning long. It's been give and take with a lot of these power outages. Some counties have had more power outages, others have less. So I just want to reference Rusk and Cherokee counties. You guys are doing just a little bit better with those power outages. However, Panola and Shelby counties, you guys have a lot more power outages than you guys had about an hour ago. So I want to take a look at those numbers. You see these reds? These are crazy numbers. Over 60% of Panola County without electricity this morning, nearly 10,000 folks without power. And when I say customers, that means individual households or businesses. Further south towards Shelby County, 11,000 without power. I also want to check in on our folks up north over in Titus County. Almost 1,000 people without power there. Over in Morris County, 1,500 people without power this morning. Over in Gray County, a little over 3,000 folks without power. Cherokee and Rusk counties also have been major issues as well. 13,000 folks without power over in Cherokee County and neighboring Nacogdoches County. We're seeing about 13,000 folks as well. So like I mentioned, it's been give and take with these numbers. Some counties are seeing some better improvements, folks getting their power back on this morning. Others, as we heard earlier from Encore, saying some of these power outages could continue as these branches or continue to fall on these electrical powers because this ice is just so heavy. And Joel, you're tracking a lot of this ice as well on the road. Something else we have to be mindful of as folks travel, if they do have to travel this morning. Of course, that is discouraged, but you're keeping track on that this morning.
All right, good morning, everybody. Yeah, we are still out on the roads here in Tyler. We're actually on the loop still, and we still have plenty of ice to note across the area here. And this is kind of something that we really like to see here as we take a look at the roadways ahead of us here. Hardly anybody on the roads, which is something that is really good to see. We don't want to see too many people on the roads trying to navigate this if you absolutely don't have to. But if you have to, definitely remember the saying, ice and snow, take it slow. You definitely don't want to be driving too fast over this ice. that we're seeing right now. We had plenty of freezing rain and a mix of sleet last night, and luckily we are going to kind of see all of that disappear into the rest of today. But still, those temperatures, they're going to be very, very low as we head into the next several days here, especially during the overnights, where we could see lows as low as the low teens with wind chill values as low as the negatives, below negative single digits. So definitely some very cold temperatures there. But again, luckily no accidents to report. I know we were just kind of talking about power outages as well. And luckily I have seen plenty of trucks out on standby. So should you lose any power, there are going to be plenty of people out there to kind of work on the lines and everything. So just know that everybody is being taken care of and everything is where it should be. But again, if you can, stay off the roads. If you have to be out on the roads, definitely make sure to take it slow. We'll keep you updated throughout the rest of the morning. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Joel. Well, when the temperature drops this low, the cold can really be deadly. Across East Texas, shelters are seeing a surge in people looking for warmth and for some, a second chance.
Now, CBS 19's Robert De La Garza joins us to show us how one Longview rescue mission is stepping up when it matters the most. Robert, we've been talking about this all morning long. East Texans helping East Texans in time of need.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, I mean, that's what East Texas is about. I mean, just helping each other out. But just take a look at kind of what we're seeing right now. I mean, we're able to find this patch of grass right here on the corner of 259 and I-20. And this is where, like you mentioned, I mean, we've seen several thousand power outages here in Longview. We're in South Longview, and speaking with the Gray County Sheriff's Office, they said this is one of the most impacted areas. So people who are looking for warmth, whether they're unhoused or maybe they're just without power, there are places for them, like Highway 80 Mission, Highway 80, as well as Salvation Army. These are places where people who are unhoused can find a warm meal, a hot bed, a shower, all these things, and possibly save a life. Let's listen in. As temperatures reach below freezing, a warm shelter can be the difference between life and death.
We have to take care of a lot of people that are coming in the doors that don't normally come into a mission.
And as those temperatures drop, at Highway 80, a faith-based rescue mission in Longview, Jeremy McDill has seen capacity rise nearly double.
Right now, we're fluctuating anywhere from 120 to 150 people.
McDill is the resident supervisor here, but years ago, he walked through those same doors looking for his second chance. But he says getting people inside is often the hardest part.
We definitely are just here to make sure that God's children are taken care of, but mostly that they just have a warm and comfortable place to come and rest.
Biggest thing is just trying to see if they have somewhere to go. And if the answer is no, then we're going to figure out, are they willing to go to one of these shelters?
Spokesperson for the Longview Police Department, Ladarian Brown, says officers are out making sure anyone out in the cold gets the help they need.
We definitely want to get as many people that we can find off the streets before the storm gets worse. That way they don't have to be out here in the elements.
For people with nothing, services like these can be crucial.
You know, if you have nothing, a quarter's a lot. You got the heat, you got blankets, you got a nice hot shower. I mean, that means the world.
Rodney Mitchell has been sheltered at the rescue for 4 months.
Coming in here, you know, you just, like I said, you just get warm, and it's almost like getting your battery recharged in life.
Because in this cold, these doors could mean survival. And right now, Highway 80 says that they have an open door policy at this point. I mean, they're open 24 hours. They're letting in people they normally don't let in. That's people with criminal records like criminal trespassing. They said at this moment it's just because they can't pass judgment on these people, especially when, I mean, McDill even told me that we won't hold anything against them when it comes down to their lives. And so these guys, Highway 80, Salvation Army, things like that, rely on donations. They are accepting donations throughout 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. throughout the day, and it's just essential services. But whether you're unhoused or not, the Longview city of Longview has promoted the exhibit center here, especially with all those power outages here that we know in South Longview or in the Gregg County area. This is an area where anyone can kind of just go out, find a warm shelter, get some snacks, and maybe recharge their essential batteries that they may have. But overall, I mean, just kind of what we're seeing right now. Once again, we're out here, 259 I-20. I mean, normally if I was out here on any other day, I'd be having to yell at this microphone, but it's absolutely quiet. So it's good to see that people are staying off the roadways and staying indoors right now, because this cold is something else. But I'm gonna go ahead and toss it back to you guys. Dana, Jesus.
All right, thank you, Robert. Go get warm. And we do know, as you can just see with Robert out there, it's bitterly cold. And if you lose power or you've already lost power, you may be wondering where you should go. We have compiled a list of warming centers over on our website. You can easily find that on the homepage, and you can also text WARM to 903-600-2600, and we will send that list that we're scrolling through right now straight to your phone to make it easy for you.
A very useful website there to keep a track, especially to let those folks who don't have power, to let them know about this tool that we have. Now I want to head over to Nayeli Carrillo, who's live in Lindale. Nayeli, what's it feeling out there? Last time we checked on you, it was cold. You almost fell as well. Hopefully you're staying warm and bundled up out there.
Jesus, Dana, yes, we are staying warm. Whenever we're not out here, we're back in the car. But I actually wanted to mention something. I just called Smith County Emergency Services District 2 to get a feel of like what they've been seeing so far. And they tell me that they're thankful that people have been staying home because they've received like a light volume of calls. And we also just received word from Smith County Emergency Management, and they are also saying that roads have deteriorated quickly. If you want to take a look at the roads, you cannot see the lines. There's like people driving, but they are going at very slow speeds because, again, you cannot see that center line. And something that I also wanted to mention is this app, this website where drivetexas.org. You can also use this. Anybody at home can look up any of the roads that they're near, not just in Lindale, but as you can see, all of the roads here, they're urging people to travel cautiously, and really they're discouraging people from traveling. Jesus, Dana.
All right, thank you, Nayeli. And it sounds like from all the people that she talked to this morning, people are listening.
That's good.
And staying inside. That's the place to be right now. Now, further south in Jacksonville, our Jamie Hazard is also tracking the latest. What are you seeing out there this morning? We know a lot of people in the Cherokee County area are without power right now because of all that freezing rain that fell overnight.
That's right. A lot of people have lost power here in Cherokee County, all the way from Rusk to Jacksonville. And luckily, we've seen those roads stay pretty much quiet this morning. A lot of Encore vehicles have been passing by, a lot of power line work, making sure that some of those people can maybe get that restored power. But, you know, a lot of people have been out looking for hotels or just any way to kind of get that warmth, the warm meal. We talked to the mission earlier, but I mean, that wind is very, very chilly. We feel like 9 degrees out here, and those roads are very slushy. Yesterday, those roads just stayed mostly wet. We just kind of had spurts of rain throughout the day, but now we definitely woke up to a winter wonderland out here. And of course, we talked to some local officials yesterday as well, and they really have been urging residents to stay off those roads and make sure that you are staying safe out there, because it is icy and it is just bitterly cold. And if, of course, you need to go somewhere warm, we talked about that shelter on Highway 69 earlier. So if you have the chance to help someone in need or volunteer or anything like that, that is greatly appreciated here in the area. But we'll put it back to you in the studio.
All right. Thank you, Jamie. You also go in there and get warm. And one of the things that we've been noticing as we've been doing Morning Y'all here on this Sunday is more and more schools are starting to report to us that they will be closed tomorrow. So we do have a running list over on our website, CBS19.tv. We've got a weather blog that we're keeping you up to date with the latest information, as well as school closures, warming locations that you can go to. Everything that you need is over on CBS19.tv, and we're going to be updating that throughout the day because we know this is a fluid situation that is continuing to change by the minute.
It is. I actually have that list that I was looking from our website right now. Some of the few ones we've got within the last hour and a half include New Diana, Kristen Heritage, Grand Saline, Winsboro, Kilgore College, and Westwood ISDs all canceling school for tomorrow because all of this leftover ice that just won't melt, and it's just super dangerous to travel, especially with those school buses and parents having to go out. They're saying, hey, let's just cancel school for tomorrow.
I know it's kind of one of those things when you think, well, it stopped falling out there, but the problem is Brett, it's not melting.
Not melting at all. You got this great picture here from Nora Wyndham. She lives in Grapeland. She woke up to a blanket of ice. Her pup outside enjoying it. Also says thank you for the great job reporting our weather conditions and keeping us informed. So there you go, guys. Way to go. Way to be in here this morning, putting East Texas first for sure. Thank you, Nora. This photo from Amy Garcia. This is down in Timpson. I thought this was yesterday morning. This was after last night. Amy, unfortunately, losing power, but has a backup generator and has been able to watch Morning Y'all here this morning. Tyler, about 1.33 inches of sleet. Marshall, about 1.5 inches. Right now, it feels like 39 degrees below zero in Bismarck, 19 in Houston, 1 below at Lubbock, 5 here in Tyler. 25 is what it feels like down at South Padre Island, or close there. Harlingen. 18 degrees currently, north-northwest winds, 14 miles an hour, giving us that feels like temperature. Barometric pressure is on the rise. There's a huge area of high pressure that will be settling in by tonight and tomorrow. A couple snow showers later on today. Otherwise, cold, cold, cold. The 4-letter word that we'll use today. Cold, 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 3 times. You say it 3 times, people remember that. Monday morning, we're waking up temperatures in the teens. The extreme cold warning in place tonight through Tuesday at noon. Everywhere you look on this map, that means we're going to have wind chill values tonight close to 0, if not below 0. Gilmer down to 2 below is what it's going to feel like. Canton 3 below. Sulphur Springs 3 below. 3 at San Augustine, 7 at Groveton, 8 at Lufkin. Near record lows tonight. So the record low in Tyler is 12. Set back in 1904, we should tie that. Longview, similar number, 1940 should tie that. Lufkin, 20. 17 is the record low, so maybe just a little bit outside the ballpark for the overnight low in Lufkin. We are forecasting a low of 9 at Gilmer, 9 at Mount Pleasant, 8 at Jefferson as the sky clears. Northeast winds 5 to 10. Groveton drops to 22 tonight. This is pipe busting stuff. This is really the 4 Ps. Of course, people and pets. And the plants probably have already been covered up. I saw a lot of plants already covered up on Friday, well ahead of the cold air. But the pipes here tonight, I think, pose the biggest threat. We're talking about the potential to have those pipes freeze if they're not dripping. Cabinets open would be also a good idea. Just keep that circulating air around those pipes. Make sure you don't want pipes. I had pipes freeze up on me a couple of years ago. Really made me nervous. Somehow we got them thawed out with A-OK with no problems. 2021 was a different story.
Right.
There were pipes busting everywhere. It's not 6 below, but it's cold enough to freeze some pipes up. All right, Baylor Scott White, Texas Pine Joint Hospital 7-day forecast. 24 then today, 12 tonight, 31 tomorrow. Weather impact alert until Tuesday at noon. 13 overnight Tuesday. So anything that melts Monday afternoon will refreeze solid Tuesday. Finally, by next Thursday, we're up to 52, and Friday, maybe a shower, but otherwise, morning lows staying above freezing and daytime highs right around 50 degrees.
Yeah, it's going to be till Wednesday till we feel normal again.
Yes, we're going to stay below freezing until Tuesday. So we've got a long stretch here. I'm going to have to go back and count up the hours, but it should come up somewhere around 60 hours consecutively below 0. Not 201 like it was in 2021,
right,
but still 60, nothing to sneeze at.
And could be a record setter for those low temperatures.
For overnight tonight, yeah, could be.
All right, again, look how dangerous it is out there. Just stay inside today. Brett keeps mentioning we've got a great game coming up here on CBS 19 that you can watch and just stay indoors, make your chili. For us, it was tortilla soup last night.
Oh, potato soup. Ooh. Yeah, see?
I like potato soup. With a nice grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. All right.
I like that.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are doing this to keep everyone out there safe and warm out there, especially for those who don't have power. Thousands still without power this morning. We'll have more updates throughout the day. And visit our CBS 19 weather blog. We have all the information there with warming shelters, school closures, and any other updates you need to know as we head into these cold, cold hours in the next few days. Continue with us here with the latest on CBS 19 and CBS 19 Plus.
And don't forget to send us your weather pictures. You can do that. You know, Brett is going to show them.
Oh, you know I will. CBS weather at CBS19.tv or news at CBS19.tv.
All right, y'all stay safe. Thanks so much for being with us, and we'll see you back here in the morning.